I was walking the other day with my son, and I was just talking to the Lord. I wasn't listening to music. I wasn't listening to a sermon. I was right before that, but besides the point. At that point, I wasn't. And I heard the Lord say, you point your arrows. And what he meant by that was like when people, lately when people have, you've been getting mad at people, or people have been doing annoying things or stupid things maybe, that you don't agree with. You have been pointing your arrow at these people, and you should not be pointing your arrow at these people. You should be pointing your arrow at the enemy. The enemy is the problem. The enemy is the one that's getting you all worked up about this. This is not those people. The enemy is behind this, And so I saw this image of me pointing my arrow at a person, kind of like being mad at them, type of thing. And not at the enemy. And the enemy was like, like so happy that I was pointing my arrow at the person and not him. That like I was completely missing the whole thing. That the enemy is the one that's doing all the everything bad. Sorry, I'm pushing my son on the swing and he's so excited. The enemy is the one that's doing the bad thing or getting in the way or making me upset, doing the thing, The enemy's behind that. And so, sorry, ATVs. My arrow should be at the enemy, not at, the person. And so he really spoke to me on that, and I was like, man, I don't want him to have the satisfaction of me pointing at someone else when it's not. Our war isn't against flesh and blood. It's against principalities and powers, And so it's not about me pointing my arrow. I need to be praying against the enemy, praying against his plans. I need to be putting my efforts towards not necessarily looking at what the devil is doing, because that's not the point. The point is to be praying so that his efforts don't come to pass. Praying for what God is doing to prevail. Praying to see his work and his desires come to pass, more so than whatever is going on out here. And so he spoke to me with that, and I was like, in a way, it's weird because we hear that all the time. Our war is not against flesh and blood. But it was almost like I had an epiphany with that. Like, I saw this picture, and I'll put it here. This picture, and it was like a wall of trees, And all of a sudden you could see like this, doorway, like a tall opening where the trees were kind of split in both directions, and the trees were split. And I just felt like the Lord was saying, you feel like there's no way, like the enemy is putting up this wall that you can't go through, where people are doing things that bother you, maybe irritate you, and you feel like there's nothing you can do about it, that you're stuck. Well, there's this very narrow way, and that was where the trees were split. And so he's showing me this wall. And I just feel like I'm supposed to share this with you, that you may feel like there's no way, you're not going to be able to get through, like whatever thing that's happening that's you feel like is not from the Lord, it's from the enemy, it's an attack, whatever, that you feel like there's a wall. But the Lord says, no, there's an opening right here, and you can see it. You know that there's an opening. You know you need to be praying for this, this, and this. You know you need to be pursuing the Lord in these things, and you're not. So you need to, and when you do that, the Lord will open up a door. The Lord will open up a way for you to pass through that wall that looks like it's impossible to get through. So I just wanted to share that with you this morning. I hope it really helps. Love y'all. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.